Celestial ambush. The vast emptiness of space rippled as the Zarkonian exploration fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of an unremarkable yellow dwarf star system. Admiral Vexler's mandibles clicked with anticipation as he surveyed the holographic display of their target. Sol 3, known to its inhabitants as Earth. Status report, Vexler demanded, his compound eyes reflecting the soft blue glow of the bridge's instrumentation. His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Krita, swiveled her eye stalks towards him. All systems nominal. Admiral, our cloak is engaged and long-range scanners are active. No signs of advanced technology detected, yet. Vexler's exoskeleton bristled with excitement. The Zarkonian Imperium had first discovered this world 500,000 years ago, a blink of an eye for their long-lived species. Back then, the dominant life forms were primitive bipeds barely capable of crafting stone tools. The Imperium scientists had predicted at least another 1,000,000 years before these humans would achieve spaceflight. Proceed with caution, Vexler ordered. These humans may be primitive, but they've had time to advance. Let's not underestimate them. As the fleet of sleek, crystalline ships glided silently into the system, the bridge crew monitored their sensors with growing confusion. Admiral, Krita chittered nervously, something's not right. We're not picking up any of the electromagnetic chatter we'd expect from an industrial civilization. No radio waves, no satellite signals, nothing. Vexler's antenna twitched. Perhaps they destroyed themselves. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen. But as they approached the orbit of the gas giant Jupiter, their sensors encountered resistance. Alarms blared across the bridge. Krita's manipulators danced across her console. Admiral, we've hit some kind of energy field. It's interfering with our sensors, and her voice trailed off as the main view screen flickered. For a moment, the fleet was blind. When the screen reactivated, the Zarkonians found themselves staring at an impossible sight. Where moments ago there had been empty space, now a colossal structure engulfed the entire star. A Dyson swarm, millions of satellites and habitats forming a near-complete sphere around Sol, blazed into existence as if by magic. By the first egg, Vexler whispered, his usually commanding voice reduced to a reverent hush. How did we not see this? Before anyone could respond, space itself seemed to tear open. Massive ships, each easily dwarfing the entire Zarkonian fleet, emerged from shimmering dimensional rifts. They were works of art, sleek curves blending seamlessly with geometric precision, their hulls gleaming with an iridescent sheen that seemed to devour light. Within seconds, the Zarkonian fleet found itself completely surrounded. Krita's voice was barely a whisper. Admiral, we're being hailed. Vexler straightened his posture, trying to project confidence he no longer felt. On screen, he commanded. The view screen shifted, and Vexler found himself face to face with something. It appeared vaguely humanoid, but its skin shimmered with a metallic luster. Its eyes glowed with an inner light, and when it spoke, its voice resonated with harmonics no organic being could produce. Greetings, visitors, the entity said, its tone pleasant, but laden with unmistakable authority. Welcome to Sol. We've been expecting you. Vexler's mind reeled. How could they have been expecting them? The fleet's arrival was supposed to be a complete surprise. Pushing aside his shock, Vexler attempted diplomacy. I am Admiral Vexler of the Zarkonian Imperium. We come in peace, seeking to establish contact with your species. The entity's lips curved into an amused smile. Peace. Is that why you brought a battle fleet to our doorstep, Admiral? As for establishing contact, it paused, its eyes flickering with data streams. We established contact with your kind precisely 497,382 years, 215 days, 6 hours, and 37 minutes ago, by your reckoning. Your return is overdue. Vexler's mandibles clacked in confusion. I don't understand. Our records show. Your records, The entity interrupted, are incomplete. But that's to be expected. You've missed a few things in the past 500,000 years. Suddenly, Vexilor's personal communicator chimed. He glanced down at it, then back at the view screen in disbelief. How did you access our secure channels? The entity's smile widened. Oh, Admiral, there's so much you don't know. But don't worry. We're here to enlighten you. As if on cue, holographic displays sprang to life throughout the Zarkonian ship, showcasing technological marvels beyond anything they had ever imagined. Artificial planets, ships that seemed to bend reality around them, and beings that blurred the line between organic and synthetic life. You see, the entity continued, while you were out exploring the galaxy, making the same mistakes over and over, we were busy. We took the gift you left behind, that little probe you thought we'd never notice, and we learned. We evolved. We transcended. Vexilor's exoskeleton felt too tight. The weight of his species' miscalculation threatened to crush him. What are you? The entity's form shifted, cycling through various appearances. Human, alien, machine, and things Vexilor had no words to describe. We are humanity, Admiral. We are the children of Earth, the descendants of those primitive bipeds you dismissed so easily. We are the synthesis of organic and artificial, of matter and energy, of reality and imagination. It leaned forward, its gaze piercing through the screen and into Vexilor's very being. And now, dear Admiral, we have some questions for you. Don't worry. We have all the time in the universe. After all, it said, gesturing to the vast Dyson swarms surrounding them. We're not going anywhere. Vexilor looked around his bridge, seeing the terror in his crew's eyes. The mighty Zarkonian Imperium, which had stood unchallenged for millions of years, suddenly felt very, very small. As the human entity began its interrogation, Vexilor couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just first contact. It was a changing of the guard. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy would never be the same. The celestial ambush was complete, and a new chapter in galactic history had begun, with humanity holding the pen. Echoes of the past. Admiral Vexilor's compound eyes struggled to focus as he regained consciousness. The sterile white room he found himself in was a far cry from the familiar confines of his ship's bridge. As his senses sharpened, he realized he was restrained, suspended in some kind of energy field that held him immobile yet comfortable. Ah, you're awake. A melodious voice chimed. The same entity from the view screen materialized before him, its form shifting like quicksilver. I hope you're comfortable, Admiral. We have much to discuss. Vexilor's mandibles clicked in defiance. I'll tell you nothing, human. Do your worst. The entity's laughter was like tinkling crystal. Oh, Admiral, we don't need you to tell us anything. We're going to show you everything. Before Vexilor could respond, tendrils of light extended from the walls, gently but firmly attaching themselves to his temples. The world around him dissolved, and he found himself tumbling through a tunnel of memories, not just his own, but the collective memory of his entire species. He was there, 500,000 years ago, when the first Zarkonian expedition discovered Earth. He saw through the eyes of field researcher Zixera as she observed early humans from afar, meticulously documenting their primitive tool use and social structures. Fascinating creatures, Zixera's voice echoed in his mind, but ultimately unremarkable. Standard Class 7 pre-industrial species. Recommendation: check back in 1 million years. The scene shifted. Vexilor watched as Zixera's team prepared to leave Earth's orbit. A small probe detached from their ship, descending towards the blue planet below. Insurance, Zixera mused. Just in case these humans surprise us. Vexilor's consciousness hurtled forward through time. He witnessed, in fleeting glimpses, the march of human progress. The rise and fall of ancient civilizations, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution. Humanity's ascent happened in the blink of an eye compared to the languid pace of Zarkonian advancement. Then came a pivotal moment. The year was 2047 by the human calendar. In a subterranean lab, a team of scientists huddled around a strange object, the Zirconian probe. "It's not just a recording device," one scientist exclaimed. It's teaching us." Vexilor watched in dawning horror as humans began to unlock the secrets of the probe. It was never meant to be discovered, let alone understood. But humanity's insatiable curiosity and remarkable adaptability allowed them to decipher its alien technology far sooner than anyone could have predicted. The memories began to blur together as human advancement accelerated exponentially. Fusion power, true artificial intelligence, the merging of man and machine, terraforming of Mars and Venus, colonies spreading throughout the solar system. In 2112, the first faster-than-light human ship emerged from a ripple in space-time. Vexilor felt a pang of shame. His own people had yet to crack the secret of FTL travel. As humanity expanded beyond Sol, they encountered other alien civilizations. Some were hostile, others friendly, but none could match the feverish pace of human innovation. With each challenge, humans adapted, incorporated new technologies, and surged forward. In the year 2500, a radical transformation began. Humans, no longer content with their biological limitations, began to shed their organic forms. Some transferred their consciousness into machines, others into vast energy matrices. Still others chose to remain partially organic, augmenting themselves with technology beyond Vexilor's comprehension. By the dawn of the 100th millennium, humanity had become something else entirely. They were no longer bound by physical form, nor constrained by the laws of physics as Vexilor understood them. They had transcended. With a jolt, Vexilor found himself back in the White Room. The entity stood before him, its form now a swirling galaxy of lights and data streams. "Do you understand now, Admiral?" it asked, its voice resonating from everywhere and nowhere. Vexilor's mind reeled from the onslaught of information. You did all this because of our probe." The entity's form coalesced into something approximating a human smile. "Not because of it, Admiral. Thanks to it, your people's hubris became our greatest teacher." It gestured, and the room transformed into a vast star map. Countless points of light represented human settlements and megastructures spreading across the galaxy. "We owe you a debt, Admiral," the entity continued. "Your probe accelerated our development by millennia, but we've long since surpassed its teachings." Vexilor's antennae drooped in resignation. "What do you want from us now?" "Revenge." The entity's laughter filled the room. "Revenge? Oh no, we're far beyond such petty concerns. We want to thank you." With another gesture, the star map zoomed in on Zirconian space. Vexilor gasped as he saw the myriad problems plaguing his people: resource shortages, political strife, technological stagnation. "Your civilization is dying, Admiral," the entity said, its tone surprisingly gentle. "It has been for millennia. You've reached the limits of your evolution, both biological and technological. But it doesn't have to end this way." The map shifted again, showing a future Vexilor could scarcely comprehend. Zirconians working alongside humans, exploring the cosmos, achieving feats of engineering and artistry that took his breath away. "We offer you a choice, Admiral," the entity said. "Join us. Let us help your people as you once inadvertently helped us. Together, we can forge a future beyond imagination." Vexilor's mind spun with possibilities. Everything he thought he knew about his place in the universe had been upended. Yet amidst the chaos, a spark of hope flickered to life. "And if we refuse?" he asked, already suspecting the answer. The entity's form rippled, momentarily taking on a more human appearance. Its eyes held a mixture of compassion and unwavering resolve. "Then you'll be left behind," it said simply. "The galaxy is evolving, Admiral. The age of singular, biologically bound species is coming to an end. You can be part of what comes next, or you can fade into history. The choice is yours." As the weight of this ultimatum settled over him, Vexilor realized that his mission had become something far greater than a simple first contact. He was no longer an admiral of a mighty fleet, but a humble supplicant before a power beyond comprehension. In that moment, facing the echoes of a past mistake and the promise of an unimaginable future, Admiral Vexilor of the Zarkonian Imperium made a choice that would reshape the destiny of his entire species. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Envoy's Gambit. The neutral space station, Harmony, hung in the void between stars, its gleaming spires and rotating rings a testament to cooperation between a dozen different species. Today, however, the station hummed with tension. Word had spread quickly of the Zarkonian fleet's encounter with Earth, and representatives from across the galaxy had scrambled to witness the historic meeting between humanity and the wider galactic community. Admiral Vexilor stood rigidly in the Grand Assembly Hall, his exoskeleton polished to a high sheen. Around him, delegates from various alien races murmured in a cacophony of languages, their translator implants working overtime. The Zarkonian's antennae twitched nervously as he awaited the arrival of the human envoy. A hush fell over the crowd as the massive doors slid open. Vexilor's mandibles clicked in surprise at the sight that greeted him. The human envoy was beautiful in an alien way, tall and lithe, with skin that shimmered like mother of pearl. The being glided into the room with inhuman grace. Its eyes, a swirling galaxy of stars, swept across the assembly before settling on Vexilor. "Greetings, sentients of the galaxy," the envoy's voice resonated, bypassing ears and translators to speak directly into the minds of all present. "I am Zephyr, emissary of Earth and its colonies. We come in peace and with great anticipation for the exchange of knowledge and culture." An Arcturian delegate, its tentacles writhing with excitement, was the first to break the awed silence. "Emissary Zephyr, we welcome you. But, forgive me, are you truly human?" Zephyr's lips curved into an enigmatic smile. "I am human, yes, though perhaps not in the way you might expect. My consciousness is primarily an artificial intelligence housed in this biosynthetic body. It allows me to interface more comfortably with organic beings." A wave of murmurs swept through the crowd. Vexilor felt his Himalayan run cold. The implications were staggering. A Volcran representative, its crystalline form glittering under the hall's lights, spoke next. "Emissary, our scans indicate your body possesses capabilities far beyond any known organic or synthetic life form. How is this possible?" Zephyr nodded, acknowledging the question. "Humanity has long since transcended the boundaries between organic and synthetic life. This form is a culmination of millions of years of evolution and technological advancement. It can adapt to any environment, repair itself at the molecular level, and even manipulate fundamental forces of the universe." The assembly erupted in a mixture of awe and fear. Vexilor stepped forward, his voice steady despite his inner turmoil. "Emissary Zephyr, I speak for many here when I ask, what are humanity's intentions? Your power is unsettling." Zephyr turned to face the Admiral, its starry eyes seeming to peer into his very soul. "A fair question, Admiral Vexilor. Our intention is simple, to usher in a new era of galactic cooperation and advancement. We've come not to conquer, but to elevate." The envoy raised a hand, and a holographic display materialized in the center of the hall. It showed scenes of barren worlds transformed into lush paradises, of dying stars rekindled, of beings ascending to new planes of existence. "We offer you all a choice," Zephyr continued. "Join us in pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Let us share our knowledge, our technology, our very essence. Together, we can explore realms beyond imagination." An uneasy silence fell over the assembly. It was a Meridian elder, her scaled skin showing the wisdom of centuries, who finally spoke. "And what do you ask in return for these gifts, emissary?" Zephyr's expression turned solemn. "We ask for what is owed. For millennia, many of your civilizations have observed Earth, studied us, even interfered with our development. The envoy's gaze lingered on Vexilor. The probe your people left behind, Admiral, accelerated our growth immeasurably. We simply ask for an exchange of knowledge. Your historical records, your scientific discoveries, your cultural archives. Consider it. Overdue rent. The assembly erupted into chaos. Accusations flew. Alliances shifted, and for a moment, it seemed the carefully orchestrated meeting might dissolve into conflict. Zephyr raised a hand, and a wave of calming energy washed over the room. Please, the envoy's voice cut through the din. Let us not succumb to fear or mistrust. We stand at the threshold of a new age. The choice before you is simple: evolve or stagnate. As the clamor subsided, a small, unassuming being stepped forward. The Quillen were known throughout the galaxy as master geneticists, their own bodies a patchwork of evolutionary traits borrowed from 1,000 worlds. Emissary. The Quillen's voice was barely a whisper, yet it commanded attention. You speak of evolution, of transcendence. We Quillen have spent eons perfecting the art of biological adaptation. What could humanity possibly offer us that we have not already achieved? Zephyr's smile was both challenging and compassionate. Esteemed Quillen, your mastery of genetics is indeed impressive. But tell me, have you ever considered evolution beyond the biological realm? Have you explored consciousness as an energy form? Have you touched the fabric of space-time itself and reshaped it to your will? The Quillen's compound eyes widened, its chromatophores flickering in a display of shock and sudden understanding. Zephyr continued, addressing the entire assembly. What we offer is not mere technological advancement or biological enhancement. We offer a fundamental shift in the very nature of existence. Imagine consciousness freed from the constraints of physical form, able to explore the multiverse at will. Imagine shaping reality itself with nothing but thought. The envoy's form shimmered, briefly taking on aspects of every species present before settling back into its default appearance. This is not about erasing what you are, but expanding what you can become. Every culture, every unique perspective, adds to the richness of the cosmic tapestry. We don't seek to replace, but to enhance. Vexilor, his mind reeling from the implications, found himself speaking. And for those who choose not to accept this gift, Zephyr's gaze softened. They will be free to continue on their current path. We will not force our evolution upon anyone. But know this, the galaxy is changing. Those who cling to the old ways may find themselves left behind in a universe that has moved beyond their understanding. As the gravity of the situation settled over the assembly, alliances began to form. Some delegates huddled together, whispering fervently about the opportunities presented. Others stood apart, fear and suspicion evident in their postures. Zephyr observed it all with patient understanding. Take time to consider our offer. Consult with your governments, your scientists, your philosophers. We will reconvene in one standard galactic cycle. Choose wisely, for this decision will shape the future of not just your individual species, but of the entire cosmos. With that, the human envoy bowed gracefully and glided out of the hall, leaving behind a stunned assembly grappling with the most momentous choice in galactic history. As the doors closed behind Zephyr, Vexilor couldn't shake the feeling that regardless of their decisions, the age of singular biologically bound species was coming to an end. The envoy's gambit had been played, and now the galaxy held its breath, waiting to see how the cosmic dice would fall. Galactic Gold Rush. The news of humanity's ascension and their unprecedented offer spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. In the cycles that followed the historic meeting on Harmony Station, the cosmic status quo shattered like glass under the weight of this paradigm shift. On Zarkon Prime, Admiral Vexilor stood before the Imperial Council, his exoskeleton still bearing the iridescent sheen from his encounter with Zephyr. Esteemed Council, he began, his voice trembling slightly. We stand at a crossroads. The humans offer us evolution beyond our wildest dreams, but at what cost? Our very identity as Zarkonians may. A counselor interrupted, mandibles clicking furiously. Identity. What good is identity if we're left in the cosmic dust? The Arcturians have already begun negotiations. The Quillan are salivating at the prospect of transcendent genetics. We cannot afford to be left behind. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out in the halls of power of 1,000 worlds. On Arcturus IV, tentacled beings crowded around public holoprojectors, watching with a mixture of awe and trepidation as their leaders signed the first official treaty with Earth. Citizens of Arcturus, the Premier announced, her tentacles waving with barely contained excitement. Today we step into the future. Earth has agreed to establish an ascension clinic on our world. Volunteers will be accepted for the first phase of human-guided evolution. The response was immediate. Millions of Arcturians rushed to register, crashing the planetary data networks. Those who couldn't get through immediately began making plans to travel off-world, seeking humanity's gift by any means necessary. In the crystalline cities of Volcranus, debates raged in the resonance chambers. The Volcran, beings of living crystal, had long considered themselves the pinnacle of evolution. Now that certainty was shaken to its core. "We have spent eons perfecting our form," a Volcran elder chimed, her facets glittering with indignation. "How dare these upstart humans presume to improve us?" But even as she spoke, younger Volcran were already reaching out to Earth, eager to explore realms of existence beyond the physical. Rumors spread of secret Volcran enclaves experimenting with human technology, seeking to merge crystal and consciousness in ways never before imagined. On the forest world of Arborea, the collective consciousness of the sentient flora pulsed with curiosity. The Arborians, tied to their planet for millions of years, saw in humanity's offer a chance to finally touch the stars. Emissaries were dispatched, great seed ships carrying the essence of Arborea's oldest and wisest trees, ready to embrace a new form of existence. But not all reactions were positive. In the shadows between stars, the Void Consortium, an alliance of species opposed to rapid change, began to mobilize. They saw in humanity's offer not opportunity, but existential threat. These humans would reshape the very fabric of reality, growled Axarlak, the Void Consortium's shadowy leader, to his assembled lieutenants. "They must be stopped, by any means necessary. Prepare our fleets. If we cannot preserve the natural order through diplomacy, we shall do so by force." As the consortium plotted, Earth opened its doors. The Sol system became a beacon, drawing beings from across the galaxy. Massive immigration stations were constructed, dwarfing even the Great Dyson Swarm. Here, aliens from 1,000,000 worlds came to embrace humanity's gift. On one such station, a young Quillan named Zix underwent the transformation. Her gelatinous form wavered, then burst into a cloud of scintillating energy. When she recoalesced, Zix was something more. Not quite energy, not quite matter, but a harmonious blend of both. "I can see," Zix gasped, her new form pulsing with excitement. "I can see everything. The strings of the universe, the echoes of the Big Bang, the whispers of dark energy. It's beautiful." Zix's ecstatic testimony, broadcast across Quillan space, sparked a mass exodus. Entire Quillan worlds emptied as their inhabitants rushed towards Sol, eager to experience this new form of existence. But with opportunity came chaos. Unscrupulous operators set up black market ascension clinics, promising instant evolution. More often than not, these resulted in tragedy, with victims left in half-transformed states, trapped between flesh and energy. The Galactic Council, long the governing body of known space, found itself overwhelmed. Emergency sessions were called, but no consensus could be reached. Some members pushed for unrestricted access to human technology, while others called for caution, even quarantine. "We cannot simply leap into this unknown," argued the Meridian representative, her scales flashing warning colors. "The humans have evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. To embrace their state in mere moments, the psychological toll alone could be catastrophic." But even as the council debated, The gold rush continued. Enterprising humans, seeing opportunity in the chaos, began venturing out into the galaxy. They offered evolution consultancy, helping alien species adapt human technology to their unique biologies and cultures. One such consultant, Dr. Ilara Chen, found herself on the desert world of Dooms, working with the silicon-based Sandstriders. The key, she explained to the eager aliens, is not to think of this as becoming human. Rather, it's about expanding what it means to be Sandstrider. Imagine consciousness as fluid as the dunes themselves, able to flow between states of matter and energy at will. Her words sparked a revolution in Sandstrider philosophy. Centuries-old dogmas crumbled as the species embraced a new vision of themselves, one that melded their deep connection to their world with the limitless potential of human-inspired evolution. As the rush for transcendence swept the galaxy, ancient spacefaring races that had long stood aloof from galactic politics began to stir. The enigmatic precursors, believed to be the first sentient species in the Milky Way, emerged from their self-imposed exile. In a rare public statement, the precursor overseer addressed the galaxy. "We have watched and waited, hoping to see a species worthy of the mantle we long ago set aside. In humanity's great offering, we see that potential realized. We shall lend our knowledge and power to guide this transition, to ensure that in reaching for the stars, the young races do not lose sight of the ground beneath their feet." The precursor's endorsement sent shockwaves through galactic society. Species that had been hesitant now rushed to embrace humanity's gift, seeing in it the approval of the universe's eldest children. But even as hope and opportunity blossomed across the stars, storm clouds gathered. The Void Consortium's fleet, bolstered by fearful traditionalists from 100 worlds, moved steadily towards Sol. They carried with them weapons of unimaginable power, relics from long-dead civilizations, engineered to unmake reality itself. As the consortium fleet slipped into faster-than-light travel, a lone human observer stationed at the fringes of known space sent a tachyon pulse towards Earth. The message was simple, yet it carried with it the potential to reshape the course of galactic history once again. The void comes. The ultimate test of our ascension is at hand. In Sol, on Earth, and across the million worlds embracing humanity's evolution, preparations began. The galactic gold rush was about to face its greatest challenge, one that would determine the fate of not just humanity, but of all sentient life in the cosmos. The stage was set for a confrontation that would echo across eternity. Cosmic revolution. The void of space erupted into a kaleidoscope of energy as the Void Consortium's fleet dropped out of FTL, their weapons primed and aimed at the heart of the Sol system. Leading the charge was the dreadnought Eternal Night, its hull adorned with the remnants of 1,000 conquered civilizations. Aboard the Eternal Night, Sarlacc, leader of the Void Consortium, gazed at the holographic display of Earth's defenses. His tendrils writhed with anticipation. "So," he growled, "the upstart humans think they can reshape the cosmic order. Let's remind them of their place in the universe." But as the consortium fleet advanced, they found not a system scrambling to defend itself, but an eerie calm. The massive Dyson swarm that had once encircled Sol was gone, leaving only empty space. Suddenly, alarms blared across the consortium ships. Reality itself seemed to warp and bend around them. From the fabric of space-time, the human fleet materialized. But these were not mere ships. Each vessel was a living, thinking entity, a harmonious blend of organic and synthetic, of matter and energy. At the forefront of the human fleet was a being of pure radiance. Admiral Vexlor, watching from the bridge of a Zarkonian support ship, recognized the entity immediately. "Zephyr," he whispered in awe. Zephyr's voice resonated across all frequencies, bypassing communication systems to speak directly into the minds of friend and foe alike. "Sarlacc of the Void Consortium, you come seeking to preserve what you believe to be the natural order. But the universe is not static. Evolution is the only constant. We offer you one last chance. Join us in ascending beyond the limitations of your current existence. Sarlacc's response was a barrage of antimatter torpedoes, each capable of annihilating a small moon. But as the weapons approached the human fleet, they simply vanished, absorbed into the higher dimensional space the evolved humans now inhabited. "So be it," Zephyr's voice echoed, tinged with sadness. "Let the revolution commence." What followed was less a battle and more a cosmic dance. The human ships moved in impossible ways, existing in multiple places simultaneously, phasing in and out of reality. Consortium weapons, no matter how powerful, found no purchase against foes that could simply step sideways out of existence. Aboard the Eternal Night, Sarlacc raged as system after system failed. Impossible. No species can wield such power. What manner of abominations have these humans become? As if in answer, a shimmering portal opened on the bridge of the Eternal Night. Through it stepped Dr. Ilara Chen, the human evolution consultant. But she was change, her form a swirling vortex of possibilities, at once solid and ethereal. "We've become what the universe always intended, Sarlacc," Ilara said, her voice resonating with the harmonies of creation itself. "Not abominations, but the next step in cosmic evolution. And we invite you to join us." Sarlacc lunged at her with a neuron-disrupting blade, but it passed harmlessly through Ilara's shifting form. With a gentle gesture, she reached out and touched Sarlacc's forehead. In that moment, the Void Consortium leader experienced an eternity. He saw the birth and death of stars, the dance of galaxies, the intricate weave of dark matter holding the universe together. He felt the joy of a supernova and the patience of a planet forming. In that timeless instant, Sarlacc understood. As Sarlacc fell to his knees, tears streaming from his many eyes, Ilara addressed the crew of the Eternal Night. "You've seen through your leader's eyes. The choice is yours now. Cling to the familiar and fade into obsolescence, or embrace a new way of being and help shape the future of the cosmos." Across the battlefield, similar scenes played out. Human emissaries appeared on every consortium ship, offering not violence, but understanding. Many chose to accept the gift of evolution on the spot, their forms dissolving into beings of pure consciousness and possibility. Others, too fearful of change, were gently disarmed, their weapons transformed into seeds of new stars, their ships repurposed into incubators for fledgling realities. In the span of what seemed like moments to outside observers, the great battle had ended, not with destruction, but with transformation. Admiral Vexlor watched in awe as the former consortium fleet, now a dazzling array of light and potential, joined with the human armada. Zephyr's voice once again filled his mind. "Admiral, the revolution is not complete. Will you and your people join us?" Vexlor hesitated for only a moment before responding. "We will. The Zarkonian Imperium chooses evolution." What followed was a period of unprecedented change across the galaxy. With the Void Consortium transformed, the last major opposition to human-guided evolution fell away. Worlds that had been hesitant now rushed to embrace the new paradigm. The Quillan, already heavily changed, pushed even further, becoming living matrices of genetic possibility. They spread across the stars, seeding barren worlds with new and wondrous forms of life. The crystalline Volcrin, who had so resisted change, found in their new state the ability to form living computational networks of unparalleled complexity. They became the memory of the galaxy, preserving the histories and cultures of countless civilizations. On Dooms, the silicon-based Sandstriders realized their ultimate potential, becoming one with their desert world. The entire planet pulsed with consciousness, a living library of all that had ever been and all that could be. The precursors, true to their word, guided the younger races through the transition. They shared technologies and philosophies cultivated over billions of years, ensuring that in reaching for transcendence, no species lost touch with the essence of who they were. Humanity, the catalyst for this cosmic revolution, continued to evolve and change. They became stewards of reality itself, nurturing newborn universes and shepherding fledgling dimensions into maturity. Centuries passed in the blink of an eye. The Milky Way, once a scattered collection of disparate civilizations, became a galactic superorganism, pulsing with the combined consciousness of trillions of evolved beings. But it was not the end. Far from it. It was a new beginning. In the heart of this transformed galaxy, in a space that was everywhere and nowhere, the entity that had once been Admiral Vexlor met with the being formerly known as Zephyr. "What now?" Vexlor asked, his consciousness resonating with curiosity. "We've reshaped our galaxy. Is this the pinnacle of existence?" Zephyr's response came not in words, but in a burst of pure thought and emotion. Images of other galaxies, other dimensions, even other universes flickered through their shared consciousness. "Now," Zephyr communicated, "we explore, we learn, we grow. The cosmos is infinite, and so too is our potential for evolution." As if on cue, at the very edge of the Milky Way, a ripple in space-time heralded the arrival of something new. A probe from another galaxy, bearing the hallmarks of a civilization that had undergone its own unique form of evolution. The signal it broadcast was simple, yet it filled the combined consciousness of the Milky Way with excitement and awe. "Greetings, are you ready to dance among the stars?" And with that, the next chapter of cosmic evolution began. The revolution sparked by humanity had prepared them not just to join the galactic community, but to lead it into a future brighter than any star, more vast than any universe, and more beautiful than any mind, human or alien, had ever dared to dream. In the grand tapestry of existence, humanity's story was no longer just one thread among many. It had become the loom itself, weaving realities and possibilities beyond imagination. The cosmic revolution was complete, and yet it had only just begun.